Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're going back in time for a medical puzzle that honestly, it just sounds impossible.
It really does.
We're talking about fixing a severely dislocated hip without the doctor ever touching the patient.
And that's the mission. This is an extraordinary story from one of the giants of medicine, Hakim Ali Sina, or Avicenna, as many know him.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It starts with a wealthy man's daughter, right?
Yes. She suffers a terrible fall from a horse, and the result is a critical injury. Her hip is completely dislocated from the joint.
And the injury itself is obviously a crisis, but it's made so much worse by this huge social constraint.
A massive one. The young woman was already very weak from the injury, but she absolutely forbade any male physician from touching her body.
Even though her father was pleading with her, explaining that Sharia law actually permits it, a doctor can be considered a mahram in a life-or-death situation.
Exactly. A mahram is, for our listeners, a permitted male guardian or relative. But she just held firm. She refused the exception.
Which means the standard treatment manual traction is just completely off the table.
Completely. You have to physically pull and manipulate the limb to reset the bone. So, desperate, the father finds Avicenna, who makes this incredible claim.
He says he can do it?
He says he can fix the hip without touching her, but he demands a very strange price.
Which was a very fat cow.
A very fat cow.
Not gold, not money. Cow.
So what was that about? Was it just symbolic, or?
No, not at all. It was completely strategic. He needed the animal itself. It was the tool,
The actual medical device?
the medical device. And this is where the genius of the plan begins. The father goes out, buys the biggest, most robust cow he can find.
And what does Avicenna do?
He gives his students a very specific and very cruel-sounding instruction. For 2 full days, 48 hours, that cow is to be deprived of everything.
Everything.
Every blade of grass, every single drop of water.
Wow, you can just imagine the students thinking he's lost his mind, that the cow is going to die. They were certainly worried. But this extreme starvation and dehydration was essential. He was, let's say, priming the animal's physiology for what was about to happen.
Okay, so you have this critically thirsty, starving animal.
Yeah.
Then what?
Then comes a procedure. They bring the young woman in on a cot and place her directly onto the cow's back,
Right on top of the cow?
right on top. Then they take a strong rope and bind her 2 legs together very tightly, cinching the rope right around the cow's abdomen.
So she's strapped to this machine, and then comes the trigger.
The trigger, he tells the students, now give the cow food and give it water.
But not just any water, I'm guessing.
No, a huge bucket of water that has been heavily mixed with salt.
Ah, okay. I see it now. This is just basic biology kicking in.
It's all biology and physics from this point. The cow is so incredibly thirsty, it just drinks and eats frantically.
And that super salty water makes its thirst even more intense.
Exactly. So to balance that massive influx of salt, its body has to do something immediately. It has to pull enormous amounts of water from its own tissues into its stomach to dilute the salt.
Which means the cow's stomach starts to inflate rapidly.
Drastically. It swells up like a balloon, exerting this immense, steady, outward pressure on the ropes tied around the girl's legs.
Creating this powerful indirect traction on her hip joint.
The pressure just builds and builds. The girl starts to scream from the intensity. And then a loud crack is heard,
The hip bone snapping back into place.
snapping right back into the socket. The girl faints from the sheer pain and shock, but Avicenna declares the procedure a success. The bone is reset.
And he claims his payment.
He claims the cow, his successful mechanical device.
That is just, it's a stunning example of using intellectual leverage over physical force. His genius wasn't just knowing anatomy.
Not at all. It was his deep understanding of physiology, of osmotic pressure, of animal biology, and applying it all to achieve a mechanical goal that was otherwise impossible.
All while respecting the patient's absolute conditions.
Right. So the real takeaway, I think, is his methodology. It's not about applying direct force. It's about strategically setting up the conditions so that powerful natural forces do the hard work for you.
That physician, Hakim Ali Sina, truly understood that, which leaves you with a final thought. What's the difference between pushing harder on a problem and stepping back to arrange the conditions so the solution happens naturally?